MacVoices is supported by ExpressVPN. Secure your surfing at expressvpn.com/MacVoices. Hi, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices at Pepcom and CES in Las Vegas. We're in the Voicea booth, and I do mean the Voicea booth, talking to Cory about Voicea. Cory, welcome. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me. Nice to meet you.
So what is Voicea, and why do you have this nice, compact, quiet little booth?
Well, out there's a couple thousand people who are talking. We wanted to be able to simulate a conference room because a lot of what we do is in a work environment, in a conference room environment, or as other kinds of meetings. So Voicea is a tool that allows you to have better focus in conversations and in meetings, and then allows you to turn talk into action. So the idea is that you have better meetings and faster follow-up. And so what we did is we created an AI that you can invite into any conference provider call. You can use it on direct phone calls, and you can use it with an app in person, and it will take notes for you. And after the conference call is over or the meeting is over, it will send the notes to you in email and give you access to a platform where you can go in, review those notes, share them with people that maybe weren't able to make the meeting, but they're going to be crucial to the follow-up to be able to move the ball down the field for that company. So the idea is that you can just turn those actions into outcomes much faster.
Okay, first of all, I love the idea of making meetings more productive because meetings seem to be one of the least productive things we all deal with.
Unfortunately, they are, yeah.
So this is, what, a transcription kind of service?
So you start there. You start with the idea that to build trust, we have to be able to do a very highly accurate transcription of a conversation. But that's really just where things begin, because the AI will listen and identify things that are important, partially based on its own learning and partially based on things that you customize it for. And you can customize it to listen to anything that's endemic to your business. And when you do that, you end up with highlights that are personalized to you. So that's one thing you can do. The second thing is you can use voice commands. And in the voice commands, there's a trigger word where you say, okay, Eva, and you can say there's an action item or there's a certain thing I want you to follow up on. You can even ask it to go schedule a reminder in your calendar. You can ask it to drop something into Trello or into Evernote. You can ask it to do a lot of things so that what happens in that conversation quickly gets turned into an action. Because we really don't want things to die in the meeting. We want them to be able to turn into that action much faster. So the transcription is just one piece of it, which allows us to get to the point where we can enable you to turn those things into actions.
It's obviously listening to us now.
It did. It just scheduled something in my calendar for us to follow up for next week.
Perfect. So many things here. So obviously you are putting a listening device in a conference call or on the table in a meeting.
Yep.
And that's got to be maybe a little bit uncomfortable in some situations. What kind of assurances can I give my other meeting participants, and what kind of assurances do I have that this is secure, safe, and all our trade secrets are not going to be broadcast all over the internet?
So we over-index quite a bit on the side of the meeting hosts and the meeting attendees. So first of all, we don't have access to the meetings. We don't use the information in the meetings. We don't do anything with it. We're like Outlook. Outlook provides you access to a tool to be able to get email. We give you access to a tool that allows you to use your meeting content. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that you have the ability, and anybody who's in the meeting has the ability to go into and delete a meeting like that. And we cannot recover it, we cannot have access to it, there's nothing we can do with it. The third thing is that it's also highly encrypted, so nobody has access to it. You add collaborators, you give permissions to people to gain access to that meeting, which once again also means that you're completely in control. And then the last thing is that we're about to roll out a number of enterprise features, one of which is actually what we call recordless recap, which there is no recording and there is no transcript, there's just the notes and the highlights. So you have the ability to control a lot of how Eva is activated in a meeting and what is being taken out of that meeting to be used later.
So what form do the notes take when they come back to me, or whenever Eva generates them? At what point? I mean, is it an outline? Is it bullet point? Is it what she thinks is a highlight?
Yeah, well, it's identified as a highlight based on the keywords that you've put into the system or that we've suggested for you, and it comes in email as bullets. So that's the first thing, is you get an email with bullet points you can go in and look at and forward to people. The second thing is you have access to the system itself, the platform that we've built out, where you can go in and you can edit the highlights, you can edit the transcripts of the conversation, and you can create new ones and forward them either to people through email, you can push them into Salesforce, you can push them into Slack, Trello, Evernote, Jira, other project management tools, because once again, it's about that collaboration element. We want to take what's getting talked about and turn it into some sort of follow-up much quicker than it would have been on its own. And what we've seen is our users are saving anywhere from 3 to 6 hours a week, just because they don't have to go look through all the notes and do all the follow-up out of a meeting.
This edition of MacVoices is supported by ExpressVPN, the easy to set up, easy to use VPN service that is #1 rated by TechRadar and has a 30-day money-back guarantee. I could stop there, but I won't. If you don't want to hand over your online browsing history to your internet provider, data resellers, or anyone else, you need a VPN. Even in the safety of your home, you are being tracked. That's why you see ads for that one item you looked at on one website 1 week ago pop up all over every other website you visit. The way around that is by using a VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network. Don't understand that? No problem. ExpressVPN does, and just by turning it on, you are immediately safer and more secure. They anonymize and secure your browsing by both hiding your public IP address and encrypting your data. And ExpressVPN is affordable, less than $7 per month. Your privacy is worth $7 a month, right? Mine certainly is. But it gets better. If you visit expressvpn.com/MacVoices right now, you can get 3 months free by signing up for a 1-year package. Again, that's expressvpn.com/MacVoices for a total of 15 months when you sign up for a 1-year package. Take back your privacy with ExpressVPN. Thanks to ExpressVPN for their support of MacVoices. Wow, I mean, it sounds phenomenal. How long does it take it to train? Am I training it per meeting, or am I training it for my business?
So during the initial setup, when you sign up for an account and you go through what's a 30-day free trial, right at the setup, you're choosing the keywords, and immediately Eva is being personalized to you. Over time, the more you engage with it, the more you push the highlight button in a meeting, the more that you use the voice commands to invoke certain things, it will continue to learn off of that and continue to personalize based on what's going to be endemic to you and your business.
Talk a little bit about the push to highlight button that you mentioned. Now, exactly how does that function? Is that when I know I'm talking about something that I want to remember or make a note for?
Yeah. So there's actually a button right here. It's called Click to Highlight. So that's a silent way of marking something as important. So maybe the other person in the room is talking and what they're saying is extremely important to you, but it doesn't hit one of the keywords or triggers that you have in the system. You just push that button right there, and then that's being marked as a highlight. Another thing I should probably point out right below that is there's also a comment section where you can just type your own notes in. So your notes are going to be timestamped in the meeting minutes, and you'll be able to go back to that section of the conversation where whatever thought you had was inspired, was never said, but you have it in there.
Very interesting, very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to get to the pricing model. How does this work?
So there's a couple of different tiers of pricing. The most expensive is around $35 a month and goes down to actually a free version. And the free version just runs for 25 minutes, and it's a lower quality transcript. It doesn't go through all 5 layers of the transcript engines that we have, so it's a little bit less accurate. The highest level is unlimited use, highest level of transcription quality, and all the bells and whistles you'd want.
Now, at the risk of it, I don't want to ask you for any trade secrets. Are you using a proprietary transcription engine or renting one from one of the other sources?
So we built 4 of our own, and sometimes we'll roll a 5th one in there, which is an external one, and we build the transcript quality based on the combination of all 5. We call that our ensemble. But we built 4 of them ourselves, and so the aggregate of all of these is anywhere from 10 to 20% better than the leading industry transcription engines.
That's impressive. Just to build one is impressive. To build 4 is really impressive.
It is really hard, but the funny thing about transcription, first of all, nobody wants to go back and read an entire meeting. No one wants to relive an entire meeting. But even a lot of times when you look at a transcript and people are talking over one another, and you'll be like, that doesn't look right. But when you go listen to it, it's exactly right. And then you don't realize how poor some of these meetings actually sound. So that's why we, once again, talk about the collaboration, the productivity, getting to the highlights, because that's where you're going to extract the value from a meeting. It shouldn't be go back and read an entire meeting, because nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, you're right. It is a fallacy of transcription. Everybody thinks it's great, and unless you have accessibility issues, you're right. I lived through it once. Why do I want to live through it again?
Yeah, and also, the engines can only do as well as what you can hear. If you couldn't hear what somebody was saying, there's no way it's going to get transcribed accurately.
Good point. So the website is?
www.voicea.com, Voicea.com.
And the service is available now?
Yep, go sign up. It's a 30-day free trial of the premium service, and send us a note and let us know what you think about it. And if you have any questions, we're happy to talk.
Cory, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you for having me.
Folks, we'll have more from Pepcom and CES in Las Vegas. I'm Chuck Joyner. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our MacVoices Facebook group and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices magazine, free on Flipboard. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us at patreon.com/MacVoices and join these folks who help keep MacVoices coming to you. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.